You think your remote desktop session is secure? Think twice. In just a few clicks, a hacker can hijack your RDP session and steal your passwords without you even knowing it. In this video, I will show you exactly how attackers exploit weak configurations, session hijacking techniques, and what you can do to stop them before it's too late. If you are managing remote systems using remote desktops, you need to see this. RDP, or Remote Desktop Protocol, is a popular tool among system administrators for managing servers remotely. However, if your network is not well configured, an attacker could easily take advantage of the situation and easily steal your logins. Under normal circumstances, a client initiates an RDP session with the server. The server then sends a certificate to the client to secure communication. Typically, on Windows servers, a self-signed certificate is generated and provided to the client. Once the client accepts this certificate, the secure data exchange can begin. If a hacker manages to position themselves in the middle of the communication between the client and the server, effectively impersonating both, they can manipulate the connection. The client, believing it is communicating directly with the server, will initiate an RDP session with the hacker, who then relays the request to the actual server. In response, the server sends its certificate to the hacker, assuming it is communicating with the client. The hacker intercepts the server's certificate, creates their own self-signed certificate, and sends it to the client. If the client accepts this forged certificate, the hacker will be able to decrypt and monitor the entire RDP communication. Let's illustrate this process with a demonstration. On the screen, I put side by side the client machine and the attacker machine. On the attacker machine, I will start the set tool the attacker will use to perform man-in-the-middle attack and intercept the RDP session. So the set tool uses the following arguments. ET0 is the name of the network interface on which the set tool will sniff traffic, followed by the IP address of the attacker machine, 130. And here is the IP address of the client machine. And 10 is the IP address of the server. So let's start the tool. So now the set tool starts sniffing traffic on its interface, waiting to catch RDP session. Now on the client machine, I will open an RDP session and try to connect to the server. Okay, I will enter the IP address of the server and I will use this username to log in. And you can see on the attacker machine something is happening. Connection received from the target. Listening for new connection, enabling the SSL. So it's intercepting the SSL traffic and trying to forge its own SSL certificate. Now let's enter the password. Click OK. And as you can see, I get a certificate warning telling me this is not a trusted certificate because it's a self-signed certificate. If the system administrator is used to self-signed certificates, which is mostly the case, he will probably click yes and confirm the connection. And when he do that, the RDP session will open as expected. But on the attacker machine, it's game over. As you can see, the attacker has intercepted the credentials. Here is the username and here is the password. And if the attacker intercepts the password of a high privileged account, such as domain admins, he will literally own your Active Directory. Having understood the risks associated with this vulnerability, it is important to discuss mitigation strategies and ways to protect yourself from such attacks. While it may seem obvious, one effective mitigation is to segment your network using VLANs. Avoid placing computers and servers on the same network segment. Instead, organize your assets based on their criticality. For instance, assigning computers to a dedicated VLAN, domain controllers to a separate VLAN, HR servers to another, and so forth. Ensure that communication between these VLANs is controlled and filtered through a firewall. For instance, users in the marketing department's VLAN should not have direct access to domain controllers or the HR server. This segmentation helps limit lateral movement and reduces the risk of an attacker gaining access to critical infrastructure. Implement multi-factor authentication, MFA. Relying solely on passwords is insufficient for security. Therefore, it is essential to strengthen authentication by enabling MFA, especially for high privilege accounts such as domain administrators. As you have seen, hijacking an RDP session doesn't require advanced hacking skills, just an opportunity and a poorly secured network. But now you know what to look out for and how to defend against it. Network segmentation, firewall rules, and multi-factor authentication aren't optional. They are essential. If you find this video useful, leave a like, subscribe for more practical security insights, and let me know in the comments what topic you would like to see next. Stay sharp, stay secure, and I will see you in the next one.